Hi, my name is Jeffrey St. Laurent, and this is the Tuesday Live Show. And today is the topic, how to make your business fun. Okay. That's not going to last very long, but I had to do it. Yes, today's topic is making your business fun. And that wasn't very fun the way it started off, but obviously I did that for a point because sometimes we get wrapped up in our head in what we're doing in our business where it isn't fun anymore. And a lot of coaches, I know myself included, a lot of reasons why they start their business in the first place is not necessarily to have fun, but it could be for purpose, for fulfillment, etc. And what that means is having fun. You got to have fun doing it. So we're going to explore that a little bit today and what I've seen for myself, what I've seen for my clients, and hopefully you can walk away with how to do all the things that you've got to do while still having some fun with it. Before I get going with that, I do record all of my Tuesday live shows. I put them on my university at sellingcoaching.com. I help coaches transition to a full-time business, so I have a lot of great resources there that can help you out on your way. Use the search feature in my university at sellingcoaching.com to find some great educational videos. And if you want a great place to start, I would urge you to go to the homepage at my website, sellingcoaching.com, and enter your name and email address. That's actually going to put you into my email community. It's also going to allow you to get instant access to an audio resource called Launching Your Coaching Business, the First 3 Vital Steps. So go ahead and check that out. I've got a lot of great stuff going on in terms of how I can help you, but one of which is this show right here that I do each and every week on Tuesdays at 12:05 Eastern to kind of help you really with some different valuable topics that allow you to keep moving forward and create a long-term successful business for yourself. And that kind of goes into the topic today of like making your business fun, because here's the reality of it all is life's tough, as you well know, and there's a lot of things in our world that can be challenging. And also what I find or have found, for myself, but especially a lot of my clients that I've worked with over the years, but especially in as I mentor coach now, they're going through a lot, and as they go through maybe a coaching school or a certification and some not, part of the reason why they're getting into coaching in the first place is because they've gone through a challenge. I'll just broadly categorize it as some type of a transition in their life. Any place, career, relationship, finances, health, etc. And it's been challenging for them. And now they're coming out on the other side of that. And it's not easy necessarily. And life's throwing them the curveballs that life, is so fantastically consistent with. And then when you do that, you come into this business and there's a lot of unknowns. There's a lot of fears. There's a lot of questions. It's fears of failure. It's fears of success. It's the actual questions that arise of the unknowns of what do I do now? How does this apply to me? That causes us overwhelm and pause and procrastination and shiny objects, and then even if we've got that figured out, or even like when people work with me, my clients work with me, and I help them figure that out and answer all those questions. So we take away any and all reasons for them not to be moving forward, and they start moving forward, then there comes, okay, now I'm doing the work, but, no one's calling me back, or, I haven't gotten a client yet, or, I haven't gotten the results yet, or recognizing all the spaces in between there where I am either triggered, if that's not the right word, then just stuff comes up for me that's hard, or recognizing I don't have those skill sets yet, meaning, I got to do a podcast or a live video, or I've got to write an email and I don't know what to say, and I'm nervous, or I'm not confident enough, right? So I'm outlaying, and it's not this gloomy picture, but I'm outlaying a lot of the challenges that come up along our way as we embark upon this journey. And while we're passionate about coaching and we're excited about it, it's very easy to lose the fun in it all. I have one of my advanced group is called a GoPro Masters group. And we've been working with them for the past 5 months. Actually, tomorrow's the culmination of the 5-month program with them. Fantastic people that I've all worked with before, culminating in this like advanced master's program. And it's been really cool to kind of see how they've evolved over the years I've worked with them, and now, through this group. And one of the things I said to them a couple of weeks ago is just kind of a reminder is, make sure with everything you're doing, you're having some fun. Because when you're having fun with what you're doing, it's not like you don't know any of this, but this serves more of like a reminder. Like when you're having fun with what you're doing, it's actually one of the biggest differentiators you could have in your business, even in your marketing and how you come across, because people can feel that you're enjoying yourself. They can tell, and it's not a faked enjoying. It's not like I'm here, trying to enjoy myself or have fun. It's not a forced thing. There's a genuine playfulness about yourself and your message that can come across, that people are attracted to. And another reason why I feel like people have seen with my clients a lot of the times why they lose this fun, playful side of themselves is because they're in business now, right? They're in business. And if you're in business for yourself, there's a certain, I don't know, what's the word I'm looking for, right? There's a certain like state we have to be in. Like, oh, I have to be professional and I have to look a certain way. I have to dress a certain way. I have to be a certain way. I have to communicate a certain way because it's business, and I have to form the right impressions, and I need people to like me, and I'm, there's a brand, and like it feels, especially if you've never been an entrepreneur or in that business space before, if I've been an employee, etc., you have your perception of what business is from what you've seen and experienced, and therefore now it's more serious. I've got to be more serious, and because people, if they're going to hire me and pay me good money, they're going to take me seriously. And I'm not ignoring any of that or saying none of that is true, but what that can do is it gets in someone's head, right? So if I'm going to do a live video like this, like I'm doing a broadcast right now, right? There has to be a certain level of quality, and I have to be evolved and enough in order for it to be valuable. And it's like, okay, so if I shut my light off and, I'm half in the picture like this, does that mean it's a bad video? Okay, well, not necessarily. If I'm showing up and it's playful and it's fun, yes, could I pay more attention to details? Of course. I'm not saying put a shoddy product out there. I'm just saying don't allow those things to hold you back. And sometimes it's all the stuff in our head that gets in the way, that pulls us away from this fun space, right? And that's the number one thing that's going to pull you away from getting clients. And that's the number one thing that's going to pull you away from, sustaining yourself in this business long term. Because if you're not having fun, then why are you doing it in the first place? And so this serves more of like just a reminder in a sense of, or number one, we've got to somehow ground ourselves. But now the question is for you is if you find yourself in that space, you've got to start to begin to identify what rules you have, what experiences you have, et cetera, that have formed those rules of what this, meaning what you're doing, needs to be, and how you're showing up. Because very oftentimes it's those rules that allow us to be in that space. Not to mention all the other pieces that I talked about at the very beginning of the show, where I'm like, all right, there's all the other pieces that come into way that can be taxing on us. And sometimes we're just going through the motions, but we're tired. There's a level of exhaustion that we have because, it's just like I'm doing this work and it's not fun. It's not playful. It's scary for me. And the overwhelming emotion isn't fun and playfulness and excitement and passion. That it doesn't mean that that's not there. It just means it's overwhelmed with the fears and lack of security and confidence and belief. And that weighs us down, and that brings us to that, like how I opened the show today, and I'm like, hi, my name is Jeffrey St. Laurent, and this is the Tuesday Live Show, and today we're talking about how to have fun in your business. And in my mind, I think I'm this enthusiastic, charismatic person, but how it's coming across on camera is like how it's coming across on camera right now is like, dude, you're boring me. Get out of here, right? And so there's this mask that we have it gives us this charisma bypass, and it's like, so we look at it, someone else that knows us well looks at it and they go, that's not you, right? But and we're genuinely trying, but that's the point. We're trying, and trying is pushing through. Trying means there's resistance. It's not flowing. It's not happening. It's not creating. It's not fluid. It's rigid because there's those rules there. And that's where when we start to erase some of those rules, when we start to challenge some of those rules, I've got a great client out there, Lisa Hubert, and she's, and I'm using her name because she's someone who I've seen in the last several weeks come out and just go from maybe how she was showing up in her business and how she knew she was, which were two different people. She knew and saw herself as this fun, playful person, but was showing up very differently. And literally in the last few weeks, I've seen her really blossom in terms of being playful and fun and just getting rid of all the other inhibitions and doing some videos that are just she's having fun with, right? And I encourage you, all of you that are listening to this or watching this, is to just have some fun with what you're doing. And do something a little crazy, do something a little wild, but don't do it to do it. Don't do it because Jeff said to or because you feel you have to. Do something because it feels fun and exciting for you. It feels a little daring or risky, but it's within the context of who you are. Because if you're trying to be something that you're not, if I'm trying to be enthusiastic and I'm trying to, and it's not me, then and I'm trying to be over the top. I'm not saying don't embellish a little bit. Don't put a little extra into what you do. You know what I mean? Like an actor or an actress, if you're on stage, you might project a little bit more. Your gestures might be a little bit bigger because you're on a stage. But still, it's in the context of who you are. So remember that. And if you can't remember that, or you're having a hard time remembering that, talk to the people that you're closest to. Talk to the people that know you the most, because or hang out with your friends, and do your thing, and ask them those questions. What makes me me? Why do you love hanging about me? What do you think describes my personality the most? And so if you can't remind yourself of that, you've got to find a way to remind yourself of it through other people. Go back and watch some videos of yourself, not that you had of yourself specifically, right? But where you're goofing off with friends or memories like that, and see if you can look at yourself and say, how can I bring that playful, fun person to my business? And then when you do that, that's a great way of being able to identify what maybe rules come up as a result of that those questions with yourself, right? So if how can I bring that person to my business? And you're like, oh, well, something inside of you says, well, I can't do that because then I'm not going to be this, I'm not going to be that, or this is going to happen, right? So then now what happens is now you've identified those rules. Now you can start to challenge those and ask yourself, well, what if the opposite were true? Or well, who said that this has to be this way? What if I did this differently? What if would I be willing to give it a shot, right? And then you can try it out and see how it feels. And it's a playfulness, like the playfulness in the playing is trying things out to see how they feel. So you can try something out that might be like, oh my God, I don't know if I should be doing this, but I'll give it a shot. See what it feels like. Maybe it feels great. Maybe it feels way over the top, or maybe it's actually not who you are. So that's the playing also, to start to find your groove. And there's for each person, there's going to be a groove that they have that they've got to find. It's not going to, they're just going to show up and do their first thing and do their first presentation and it's going to click. It can happen. Yet with that being said, there's some trial and error in there as well that's going to allow you to get in that space. And it's going to evolve over time. Don't think that just because you found it now that this is just the way it's going to be. I've been in business with my coaching business as a life coach first, then into mentor coaching since 2004, and it's been my full primary income. I've evolved. My business has evolved heaps over that time. Me personally, how I teach, how I progress it, and even within the same topic now, even as a mentor coach, since I think 2014ish or so, it's been I might have the same core message, but how I describe it, how I teach it, different things like that. I've evolved in terms of how I teach that as well. So just that's a long way of saying you got to trust that process, but be aware of that evolution. So hopefully this has been helpful for you. Hopefully you enjoyed this. Hopefully it's been fun, even listening to what I'm saying. And hopefully, most importantly, you're able to take this information and bring it back and bring a lightness to what you do. So with that being said, I appreciate all the people that are watching live. I appreciate the people watching the recording of this. Check out the great stuff that I have for you as a coach at sellingcoaching.com, whether it be my 14-day challenge, my 5-month program, or even some of the great stuff I have in my university or in my private Facebook group. So it's all at sellingcoaching.com. Until then, until next week, take care everyone and have some fun. Bye everyone.